powerful.
Yeah.
He's so vicious. Like his one punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see it till we get in there and test the waters.
Joe Rogan was visibly stunned when Gervonta Davis stepped into the press event ahead of his exhibition fight with Jake Paul. Instead of the lean, compact frame fans usually associate with him, Davis appeared noticeably bulkier and more muscular, his body showing a new level of power and density. Rogan, who's seen countless elite athletes up close, couldn't hide his astonishment, reacting with the kind of disbelief that only comes when someone looks far stronger and sharper than anyone anticipated.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I
Yeah.
think that guy's so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings and
Yeah.
he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
During the face-off that followed, Davis appeared to deliberately tone down his physical presence. Instead of flexing or posturing aggressively, he stood calm and composed, often folding his arms or shifting his stance to partially conceal his torso. It seemed like a subtle effort to downplay his transformation, yet the added bulk was impossible to hide. Joe Rogan noted that Jake Paul's approach to these events is more about spectacle than sport. He explained that such matchups are designed to attract casual audiences and stir curiosity with their odd pairings. In Rogan's view, the betting talk and theatrics are less about pure competition and more about publicity. Jake, he said, understands how to keep his name trending by turning boxing into a platform for promotion rather than pure athletic challenge. Davis is a lightweight champion who usually competes around 135 lbs, while Jake Paul has been fighting closer to the cruiserweight limit in his previous bouts. For this fight, the agreed catch weight is set at 195 lbs, a figure that shocked many fans and analysts alike, and was only finalized after several rounds of negotiation and uncertainty.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it bothers the fuck out of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird
They're just trying to draw you in.
thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
Because of the clear size mismatch, the rules for this exhibition fight have been adjusted from the usual standards. Both fighters will wear 12 Oz gloves, which are noticeably heavier than the ones Davis typically uses in his weight division, aiming to reduce impact and enhance safety throughout the bout.
We were yelling so much about him fight somebody your size. His next opponent is by far the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. His
trainer, Calvin Ford, expressed concern about the glove change, explaining that while heavier gloves may reduce the impact and help limit injury, they also alter the sensation of each punch and affect the way a fighter defends. Making it a significant adjustment for Davis, Interview 6 Teddy Atlas reacted to the face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, emphasizing the massive size difference between the two. He joked that Tank is so small compared to Jake that he'd need a ladder just to reach his chin. While Atlas acknowledged that differences in skill and style are normal in boxing, He insisted that the size gap in this matchup is simply far too great.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. It was 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
He compared it to Canelo Alvarez moving up to fight Terrence Crawford, but clarified that Crawford was never that small, whereas Tank is physically too undersized to even reach Jake effectively, making the fight appear mismatched from the start. Fans, media, and analysts have raised concerns about how fair or safe this matchup truly is, given the size gap. The controversy extends beyond Davis himself, questioning how the fight is being promoted, whether it prioritizes safety, and what kind of precedent it might set for future celebrity or exhibition bouts. Joe Rogan is among those who have pointed out that this fight pushes boxing into very unusual and uncertain territory.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. What's the matter? What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
Dana. White has openly criticized the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, expressing doubt about its fairness. He accused Paul of cherry-picking smaller opponents instead of facing someone his own size. White even compared Gervonta Davis to Floyd Mayweather in terms of punching power, claiming Tank actually hits harder than Floyd, but remains too small to overcome such a weight gap. He warned that Jake Paul could use his size to smother Davis and dominate physically. Summing up his stance, White stated bluntly, "You guys need to fight people your own size."
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but a little different. The size difference was, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think, and I'm going to ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm going to ask him, because I know he's an expert in this area, but it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Thunder Lips. He was Thunder Lips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky III.
Rogan has consistently shown respect for Gervonta Davis, admiring both his talent and his rapid rise in the boxing world. After Davis's knockout win over Rolando Romero, Rogan praised him as a true emerging superstar, highlighting his rare combination of power, precision, and showmanship. He later applauded Davis again following his victory over Ryan Garcia, describing Tank's presence in the ring as quietly terrifying. According to Rogan, Davis might begin his fights cautiously, but the looming threat of explosive damage is always there, making him one of the most dangerous fighters to face.